So Christina, we've just been discussing your frequent migraine headache attacks and how it's affecting you and your family and your work life. And one of the things you pointed out that was really important to you is your business. So can you tell me a bit more about that and how the headaches are getting in the way?
Yeah, so I run a small business from my home, which is great, not only financially, but it also lets me spend more time with my 2 young daughters. I just find that I'm getting a lot more migraines and they're just getting worse. So really, I just need your help.
Okay, so you're finding that the headaches are causing you to not be able to run your business some days, or you're having to stop doing what you're doing? And
absolutely.
Yeah, okay, great. So absolutely, yeah, we can start to talk about what the options are for people who have migraines. And I'd like to start by hearing from you first, though. What might you already be doing to try to manage your migraines as best you can?
Well, I realize that when I'm tired, that I get more migraines. So I try to get between 7 and 7.5 hours of sleep. I also realize that when I drink alcohol, that they come on quite hard. So I've just had to stop drinking. In addition, I take painkillers, but I don't particularly like how they feel, so I take them when it's absolutely needed. I feel tired and groggy, and it just really prevents me from pretty much doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can have that impact. So great, but you're tackling a couple of important areas for managing migraines, and what I'd like to do is, using these cards, I'd like to summarize what you've already told me and then add in other options available to you as well. And while we're talking, there may be some things that come up that you want to make note of so you can remember later, so please feel free to write down anything you like. If you'd rather just take a picture with your phone or record something on your phone, that's really fine too. So one of the things you mentioned, Christina, is some lifestyle factors. So the sleep, is important, and also the alcohol. There are other lifestyle factors too that someone can explore, and that includes things like stress and also physical activity levels. And the other thing you mentioned was related to medication. So the painkillers aren't working great for you. They take the pain away, but they also leave you feeling not clear-headed. There are options that we can look at that help you prevent headache attacks, and different medications that can help you address headaches that are already there. And then the timing of when you take the medications also can make a difference. So some of the other areas that can be explored are specific treatment activities. This can include things like physio. You did mention to me earlier that you were in a rear ender, and so if there's any issues with your joints or muscles in your neck and upper back especially, physio might be a good thing to explore. Chiropractic and massage are also other options that people find helpful. Monitoring your symptoms. So often people with migraines find that they push it out, like you mentioned, you're taking your medication as late as you can, and then or not noticing your symptoms. So if you can start to notice the symptoms earlier and do something earlier, that can also prevent some headache attacks from getting worse. And your trigger load. You mentioned the sleep and the alcohol. There may be other things on your personal trigger load that you can explore and be aware of, because they can add up and lead to more headache attacks. And then finally, appointments. When you see multiple team members potentially to help you explore all these things, appointments can get overwhelming, and we don't want that to happen and start to cause you more stress when you're already busy. So we can help you look at that as well. So that's a lot of things to do. We don't want you to feel like you have to tackle that all at once, because that will be overwhelming as well. But if there was a couple of priorities here that you think you might benefit most from, what do you think those would be?
I think what stands out to me the most is my medications. Okay. You had said before that there could be potential medications that stop my migraines. So if that's the case, I would like to learn more.
Okay.
I don't want to rely on medications for a long period of time. So if there are things that I could be doing in my personal life, I would like to take advantage of that.
Okay, great. So starting here to get some control, feel clear-headed, ultimately move into this area. Mm-hmm. Okay, so great. So those are your starting points. Could you also maybe take a look at the other areas and what might come next for you to create a bit of a roadmap with the rest of these?
So I know some of my triggers, but I'd like to learn more.
Okay.
And I'm definitely one of those people who act on their migraines too late.
Okay.
Before you had said physio as an option, which is not something I would have even known. And then I can see that being my schedule's already so busy as it is, that making sure my appointments and services don't become overwhelming, I think that would be good too.
Okay, great. So something like this might work for you. If things change, we can modify this. So don't worry, it's not written in stone. And I'll make sure it's in the documentation so all the team members that you might see are aware of what you're wanting to do or how you're wanting to tackle this. We have time left today. Is now the right time? Are you ready to tackle one of these and discuss more today?
Yes, if we can talk about medications.
Okay, great. So we'll start here, and then when you come in for subsequent appointments, the rest of the team can help you look at these over time as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.